Save $1.80 on fresh Purdue value pack chicken thighs or drumsticks at $1.99 per pound. $4.99 for assorted varieties of 5-ounce packages of fresh Attitude salad. Save 96 cents on Atlantic sugar. $2.49 for a 4-pound bag. Only $1.39 for a 12-ounce tin of Pat evaporated milk. For your holiday fruitcakes, Champion Seedless Raisins $3.59 for a 12-ounce box. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, November the 2nd, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. The government tonight appearing to be moving forward with the PLP's election pledge to replace gay marriages with a form of civil unions. Tarai Trott has our story.
Which makes it a primary.
Home Affairs Minister Walton Brown Jr. announcing a public consultation period for a draft parliamentary bill on the topic of domestic partnerships. The bill will be posted on the government website and Facebook page, and members of the public are encouraged to send feedback via email to domesticpartnerships@gov.bm. During the 2-week consultation period, the ministry will host 2 town hall meetings on the bill. The first will take place on Wednesday, November the 8th at 5:30 p.m. at the BIU headquarters, and the other on Thursday, November the 9th at 5:30 p.m. at the St. Paul AME Church Hall. The bill will essentially replace same-sex marriages with a form of domestic partnership arrangements which can be entered into by both gay and heterosexual couples. Government says if the bill becomes law, gay couples who are already married will not have their marital status taken away from them. The consultation period ends on Wednesday, November the 15th. During the election campaign, the PLP platform stated, "We accept that same-sex couples should have similar legal benefits as heterosexual couples, save for marriage, and will introduce legislation to achieve this aim."
In other news, a review of Warwick Parish Council finances following reports of alleged questionable activity, particularly as they relate to the Lorraine Rest Home. Gary Moreno has been following the situation and tells us more in this report.
A well-placed source informing us the situation was detected just over a month ago when it was reportedly discovered that funds meant for use at the Lorraine Rest Home somehow had gone unaccounted for. So just how much money are we talking about here? Well, according to our source, it is believed to be in the region of $250,000. However, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Home Affairs, under which the parish councils fall, dismisses that figure as nothing more than rumor. That said, we've spoken with a number of individuals directly linked to the parish council, all of whom state otherwise. It is understood that at least one senior member of the council has now voluntarily stepped down while an investigation is carried out into the situation. Meanwhile, that Ministry of Home Affairs spokesperson telling us, quote, "We can confirm that the parish council is undergoing an operational review, which will include ensuring that council members are adhering to best practice, particularly in relation to their financial controls and their stewardship of the Lorraine Rest Home," unquote. One council member contends the situation may be due to the monies meant for the Lorraine Rest Home being used to meet other expenses. That member also claiming the missing amount is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're told that as part of the investigation, forensic auditors have been brought in to look at the council's books. One council official telling us the confusion surrounding the whereabouts of the funds is particularly galling, since those funds should not have been used for any other purpose, if they in fact were and not misappropriated, than for what they were originally intended, and that is the upkeep of the Lorraine Rest Home. That official telling us the Warwick and other parish councils have had their budgets significantly reduced since 2012 as part of government's cost-cutting measures and cannot afford to have monies simply going unaccounted for. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news, the Bermuda government has taken note of the statement by UK opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn in the UK Parliament yesterday, in which he attacked Bermuda as a tax haven. Mr. Corbyn criticised the government of Prime Minister Theresa May for allegedly preventing France from placing Bermuda on a blacklist of tax havens, and he referenced a data breach of wealthy clients at Bermuda law firm Appleby. A government spokesperson points out Appleby is not a Bermuda-based, as Mr. Corbyn referenced, and is based in the UK territory of Jersey. The spokesperson adding Bermuda is a recognized leader in international tax compliance and tax transparency with 114 tax treaty partners. The opposition leader says government may not be aware that Bermuda was recently confirmed by the French government as a whitelisted jurisdiction due to Bermuda's excellent work on international tax transparency. Meanwhile, asked to weigh in on Mr. Corbyn's attack on Bermuda, Jean Atherton, the shadow finance minister, believes it's a case of Mr. Corbyn being misinformed about Bermuda. Mrs. Atherton backing the government's position on the island having a stellar international reputation.
Successive administrations in Bermuda have ensured that our tax regime is pristine and can withstand international public scrutiny. And the mere fact that France has given us whitelist status supports the fact that they regard us being open and transparent and having transparent governance.
Despite years of efforts by both parties when they were in government, to inform the UK of our status and what we do, it seems like the message just is not resonating. Does it mean in your mind that we still have a lot of work to do in that regard?
Well, I think the playing field is changing all the time. So, Bermuda understands that we have to keep doing what's necessary to make people understand the fact that, that we have a tax system that ensures that we have the information, and that information that comes from various people where we have a mutual treaty agreement, that we will be able to supply that information to them.
And asked how government should reply to Mr. Corbyn's statements?
Well, I think what government is doing, and has indicated that it will be doing, is that we have to keep going to Europe, we have to keep going to the EU, and we have to keep talking with individual countries and make them understand, what is required. And I think the most important thing is for us to recognize that it's having a system in place, but it's also having the ability so that when the request comes, we'll be able to respond. And as was indicated, we were an early adopter in terms of making sure that, we would have a system in place, and we just have to keep doing that. There is always going to be a question about what Bermuda needs to do. The playing field is changing all the time.
Meanwhile, Mr. Corbyn's attack on Bermuda and British territories is nothing new. He has a history of singling out Bermuda and other sister territories and labeling the islands tax havens, which need to be investigated and confronted. He's even on record for calling for Bermuda and other territories to be placed under direct British rule so that local tax structures can be removed by force. Here's some of the statements he made following the leak of the offshore Panama Papers in 2016.
She got enough staff to go after these people and investigate this. But secondly, say to the governments, those that administer Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands, and a number of other places, hang on, you are a government of a British dependent territory, a Crown territory. You must abide by UK tax law. You must not become a harbour for tax avoidance and tax evasion.
This government opposed the EU Tax Commissioner Pierre Moscovici's blacklist of 30 uncooperative tax havens. That blacklist included the Cayman Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Last June, Treasury officials lobbied Brussels not to take action against Bermuda's tax secrecy. According to the European Union's Transparency Register, the tech giant Google has no fewer than 10 employees lobbying Brussels. Bermuda is the tax haven favoured by Google to channel billions in profits. And Conservative MEPs have been instructed on 6 occasions since the beginning of last year to vote against action to clamp down on aggressive tax avoidance. This is a party incapable of taking serious, internationally coordinated action to tackle tax dodging.
Stay with us. More news in tonight's BFM AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
Previously at Mailboxes U.S. Express.
Mailboxes Unlimited gives you an address in New Jersey for just $20 a year, and we'll ship your stuff from there to here and save you over 80% on the shipping. Join the over 11,000 people that are already members of Mailboxes U.S. Express. We are the cheapest and the fastest way to ship stuff from there to here. Excuse me while I answer my phone.
My name is Steve Thompson, and I approve of this message.
Mailboxes U.S. Express. Sign up today.
Looking for a challenge, new adventures, forge lifelong friendships, and earn an extra $5,000 to $6,000 a year?
Good stuff.
Be a part of a proud and honorable legacy of service. The Royal Bermuda Regiment is seeking volunteers.
Let's go, guys!
Call us at 238-1045 or visit bermudaregiment.bm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment, your regiment.
Welcome back. Tens of millions of dollars added to Bermuda's health care bill annually, simply because of inactivity and poor eating habits. Health Minister Kim Wilson making the case in the House of Assembly recently that this is unacceptable and residents have to do their part to reduce that figure. Here's Gary Moreno with more.
$26 million. That's how much lack of exercise and poor eating habits is estimated to cost this country in terms of healthcare for treatment of conditions resulting from these unhealthy lifestyle choices. Health Minister Kim Wilson calling it nothing short of an epidemic.
The sad reality is 3 out of every 4 Bermudians is either obese or overweight. And as you can appreciate, that is causing a huge economic strain on our healthcare dollars. And it's also causing a strain, obviously, on those individuals and their families insofar as it's impacting adversely their quality of life.
And the personal impact, the minister stresses, is cause for worry.
These individuals that are largely overweight and obese are also having, regrettably, non-communicable diseases that can be avoided by proper exercise and diet. We have one of the highest instances of diabetes, and unfortunately, as a result of that, we're seeing quite a number of individuals having to undergo amputation and the like. So these are all diseases that are largely preventable, again, by virtue of our lack of exercise and our poor diets.
To that end, government, as promised, is moving to do its part to bring the situation under control.
One of the initiatives under the throne speech that you've heard the government speak about, which we're starting now, is the consultation phases for the implementation of a sugar tax. We recognize that some of the higher sugar substances are found in sodas and juices, and they have very little, if any, nutritional value. So that is certainly one of the initiatives that we are looking to consider and to roll out very soon after the consultation takes place.
But former Premier Michael Dunkley, whose administration introduced the Healthy Schools program and other similar initiatives, says he supports Minister Wilson in her calls for better and healthier lifestyle choices. But when it comes to the introduction of a sugar tax,
there's a lot of talk about sugar tax and things like that. I declare my interest. I sell food and I sell soft drinks. But we've seen over time, in spite of people thinking that more soft drinks are being consumed, actually the volume of them is dropping and water's coming up. But if we're going to impose another tax, we need to think very clearly about the appropriate way that it is done, if it's done, because we've seen other jurisdictions already had it and pulled it back. And Chicago was one of the latest just a couple of weeks ago.
Mr. Dunkley also urging that focus be placed on the level of alcohol consumption in this country and it being a major contributor to the high incidence of obesity here. Elsewhere, Ms. Wilson telling us discussions are underway with the Minister of Education geared toward the reintroduction of compulsory physical education in the public senior schools, not only in terms of being active, but also from the perspective that exercise helps in improved levels of concentration, which in turn will mean better academic performance. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Turning to weather news, the beautiful sunny conditions will continue for the next few days. Aren't we lucky? Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Hello. Hopefully you had a wonderful day out there today. It was a gorgeous day, around 80 degrees, lots of sunshine, absolutely beautiful. This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and it's going to stay like this for at least the next couple of days. There is that front that moved to the west of us. It's not bothering us. Now it's to the north. We're not going to see any more wet weather coming out of that. So taking a look right now, not much going on, maybe not even cloud coverage, pretty clear skies out there. Taking a look at the temperature right now, 74 degrees across the island, humidity 68%. That's a little less than it was earlier this week. Winds out of the east 6 to 10 knots. Water temperature still nice and warm. Waves 1 to 2 feet inside the reef. Outside 3 to 5 feet. Tonight it's going to be pretty quiet, pretty calm. Some patchy clouds in places. Our temperature right around 70 degrees. And tomorrow partially sunny skies, mostly sunny, a couple of clouds here or there. The high temperature is going to be 76, which again for this time of year is right about average. Our first high tide 8:04 p.m. on Thursday, the second one at 8:32 in the morning on Friday. If you're here on vacation or if you're just traveling elsewhere, we do have a couple other forecasts to tell you about. It's actually pretty nice and quiet across the region. So Toronto 53 with some sun. In New York, Boston, Atlanta, Miami, everyone is staying dry, pretty nice conditions. And in London, 58 degrees with just a few clouds there. In Jamaica, we could see a couple of showers. Barbados, Trinidad, temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. And looking at the next couple of days, really, this is just the way it's going to look. A mix of clouds and sunshine. We're really not going to see any kind of showers, maybe a very brief light shower in places, maybe, but most likely staying dry really the next couple of days. Temperatures right around average in those mid 70s to upper 70s. Now stay tuned to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all your latest news and weather.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside and Davids.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
It is time to fall back, Bermuda. Daylight savings time comes to an end this weekend, so before you head off to bed on Saturday, be sure to set your clocks and your watches back by 1 hour. The official time change is Sunday morning at 2 a.m. So think of the seasons and fall back. The sun sets earlier, sure, but you get an extra hour of sleep. So this Saturday, wind those watches and clocks back. Just a friendly reminder brought to you by Bermuda Broadcasting.
And this just in, Naki Wells has scored 3 times for Burnley in an under-23 match, leading them to victory. Earl Baisden will have a full report, including reaction in subsequent newscasts. Now turning to more sports, it was a long night for football fans at the BAA field last night. A young sailor finishes as Bermuda's best in 2 regattas, and Patrick Nisbet wins again in a Belgium indoor horse jumping event. Earl Baisden has the details and much more in tonight's sports package.
It could only be described as a marathon night as the Dudley Eve semifinals both went extra time.
In the opener, the PHC Zebras advanced to the final for the 3rd consecutive year after they twice came from behind to defeat Robin Hood 3-2. After a scoreless first half, LeJon Simmons gave Robin Hood the lead in the 64th minute. Simmons would connect from close range after good work between Antoine Russell and Mazai Burchell, but 10 minutes later, the scores were level when Sequoia Robinson scored from the penalty spot. Neither team could find the back of the net for the remainder of the game, thus sending the match into extra time. With 1 minute remaining in the first period of extra time, Dante Levrock was on hand to score for Robin Hood from close range, but yet again the PHC Zebras would fight back. Keyshawn Bean would score a right-footed shot from inside the box in the 112th minute, and then 4 minutes later, Naeem Griffith blasts the ball home to earn PHC the win. The second game also needed extra time and more to decide a winner, and this match that began on the 1st of November ended on the 2nd of November, well past midnight. The defending champions, Devonshire Cougars, advanced to the final after defeating the North Village Rams 5-4 on the dreaded kicks from the penalty mark. During regulation time, the North Village Rams went ahead in the 16th minute when Shane Hollis found the back of the net. Michael Battersby equalized for the Devonshire Cougars in the 21st minute. The teams went to the break with the score at 1-1, but in the 63rd minute, first half substitute Mark Steve broke the deadlock, giving the Devonshire Cougars the lead, only to have Jonathan Bryers equalize for the North Village Rams, scoring a header from a set piece in the 84th minute. After 30 minutes of extra time, the deadlock could not be broken. The Devonshire Cougars held their nerves and advanced to meet the team they defeated in the final a year ago. Meanwhile, youngster Daquan Crockwell and his 10-man Port Vale teammates fought back to win their FA Youth Cup match 3-2 against Stourbridge after extra time.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Youngster Christian Eben has had 2 Optimus regattas of a lifetime. Eben has finished as the first Bermuda sailor in both the U.S. Southeast Optimus Championships as well as the Junior Gold Cup right here in Bermuda. Eben explained how he has prepared for both events.
I've just been training hard, sailing 1 to 4 times a week, every week, and doing physical training.
What were the conditions like in St. Petersburg that helped you to finish as the top sailor for Bermuda and 7th overall?
Well, they were kind of windy, and the wind was always going up and dropping down, and it was always shifting side to side.
But here in Bermuda for the Junior Gold Cup, you had a few choppy days, and then obviously the tricky winds inside the Hamilton Harbor.
Yeah, it was the first 3 days, it was just howling. And then the last day, there was no wind, and I'm one of the lighter sailors, so I got ahead in a few races and came second in one.
Patrick Nisbet concluded competing in the CSI-2 and CSI-YH1 Upper Glabique International Indoor Horse Jumping event in Belgium. Nisbet on the final day competed in 2 classes, winning 1. Nisbet and Jawad Diensbach Z won the 1.20 meter CSI Table A in 2 phases class. The player clocked a clear first phase time of 63.26, and then they clocked a clear second phase time of 32.30. Competing in the 1.35 meter CSI 2 Table A class, Nisbet and Balaz finished 9th. They clocked a clear round time of 61.14. Michael Franklin went back to battle, competing in the $5,000 men's Meadow Mill Open squash tournament in Baltimore. Franklin advanced to the qualifying final round after winning his first round match, but he would fall 3-0 to Babatunde Abigail from Nigeria in straight games, 11-9, 11-8, 11-8. Vanessa James and Morgan Cyprus of France concluded competing in the free skate pairs competition at the 2017 Skate Canada International ISU Grand Prix. James and Cyprus finished third overall, this after finishing third during the short program, and they finished the free skate program in second. The French pair finished with a combined score of 214.37 points. Canadian pair Megan Dummall and Eric Redford won the event with a score of 222.22 points, while Alyona Shevchenko and Bruno Massot from Germany finished second with a score of 215.66 points. Last evening at the PCC hockey rink, the Winnipeg Jets defeated the Edmonton Oilers 8-3. The Jets jumped out to a 3-0 lead at the end of the first period and never looked back. Jeremy Estee led the Winnipeg Jets with 4 goals, while Matt Katz, Matt Benson, Jeffrey Morash, and Sean McKee all added a goal each. The Edmonton Oilers got 2 goals off the stick of John Talbot and a single strike from Andrew Capadonna. Bermuda's top junior cyclists will head to Barbados this morning to compete in the 2017 Junior Caribbean Cycling Championships. The championships are hosted by the Barbados Cycling Union as a late substitution for Puerto Rico, and the event includes a time trial which will be held on Saturday and a road race on Sunday. The Bermuda team comprised of Connor White, Caden Hopkins, and Matthew Oliveira in the junior boys 17 to 18 division, with Alyssa Rouse competing in the girls 15 to 18 category. Nicholas Naraway and Ziani Burgesson will compete in the pre-junior 15 to 16 category. In Bermuda Basketball Association Elite City League play inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium last evening, it saw a total of 245 points scored. The Falcons defeated the Lions in the opener 82 to 66.
Save $1 on Green Giant Idaho russet potatoes, $5.99 for a 5-pound bag. Save $2 on fresh and tender boneless pork chops, $4.99 per pound. For your mac and cheese dish, Catelli macaroni, $2.19 for a 500-gram box. 1-pound box of Bluebonnet margarine sticks, just $1.99. Save $1.20 on Charmin Ultra Soft or Strong Toilet Tissue, $4.99 for a package of 4. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate all the craftsmanship we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, crafting the world's finest bed.
Furniture Walk, Bermuda's home of top mattress brands, Stearns & Foster, Therapeutic, and Restonic. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years. Call 292-5209.
The Doghouse, where we all end up, presents Undefeated Bermuda. Let's get ready to rumble! In the red corner, representing Bermuda, it's Nikki Nifty Bascoul! And in the green corner, representing Portugal, it's Fabio Hands of Stone Costa!
International referee Steve Smager officiating the event. It's live at the Fairmont, Southampton on November 11th. Doors open at 7 p.m. Event starts at 8 p.m. Free Bermuda and Portugal flags at the gate. Tickets are $75 for general admission, $150 VIP ringside. Tickets sold at Sports Source Hamilton and Wharf, Audiovisual Hamilton and Somerset, Fairmont, Southampton. Tickets sold online at ptix.bm. Sponsored by the Doghouse, Tesaris Gas Station, the Royal Gazette, the Sports Source, Audiovisual Electronics, Sousa Landscape, the Island Shack, Fresh and Hungry, Arnold's Family Market. See you at a defeat.
I'm Michaela and this is Taking Off. Last time we looked at the interior of the new terminal. This week, let's talk about what we can expect on the outside. The new terminal will be larger with state-of-the-art design. As it's being built in a new location, there will be a new entrance and much more. The new terminal will be brought up to international industry standards and will meet the expectations of today's travelers. One of the exciting features of the new space will be patio bars. Remember the golden days of Bermuda travel when you could sit outdoors? Well, those days are coming back. Travelers will be able to enjoy the Bermuda experience a little while longer with a meal or drink at our new outdoor patios before boarding flights at the new terminal. Additionally, the airfield is being refurbished to allow for a new aircraft parking apron and taxiway, as well as drop-off and pick-up areas. Landscaping is being designed with a Bermudian focus, and outdoor spaces will be created for passenger relaxation.
Well, it was a lively scene at the Hamilton Marketplace today, where the Lions Clubs of Bermuda teamed up with the Marketplace supermarkets to launch their annual Share the Christmas Spirit campaign. The campaign sees people donating food items which are placed into Christmas hampers and distributed to needy families and seniors. And Pacheco Farms are once again supporting the drive with fresh produce. Here's Fred Thompson of the Lions Club.
The community of Bermuda has been so generous in donating non-perishable items and placing them in the decorative bins at the marketplace stores. Once again, we are asking the Bermuda community to give generously to this worthwhile cause, which brings happiness and joy to some families around the island.
It gives me great pleasure to cut the ribbon for the launching of the 29th Share the Christmas Spirit event. Thank you.
This year's Share the Christmas Spirit launch was topped off by a musical performance by pupils from the West Pembroke Primary School under the direction of Jared Robinson. And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for sharing your Thursday evening with us, everyone. Good night.